Well, welcome back. Merry Christmas. I'm driving on maybe the second worst day for food delivery based on restaurant closures. But you and I think me too, right? Maybe you and I are both surprised that I got this order. It is from Bao2 on Uber Eats after declining like low order. This one, $12.05, 2.7 miles, 19 minutes. This has to be all from tips because it says includes expected tip, right? But there's no surge pay. Oh, by the way, I did see surge pay for the first time in like over a year on Uber Eats here on Christmas Day now, Christmas evening, whatever. So this has to be basically all from a good customer tip. Thank you, customer. So maybe it's not going to be all bad. I'm certainly not making $0 like yesterday. So let's find out. A little bit of wait time there, like 5 minutes. Like 5 minutes is really, it's understandable, but it's not like, you obviously want to go there and pick it up and be ready immediately. Like 1 to 3 minutes, I'm like, all right, I don't even feel it. 5 minutes is like, All right, that one was all set. And I actually simultaneously got another order on Grubhub for the same exact restaurant at the same time, going not too far away. So in that very, very, very rare case, I took it this time. If any of those were on DoorDash, like it was Uber Eats and a Grubhub combo, if it was on DoorDash, I'd probably say like, you probably shouldn't because they're even tighter on their expected ETAs. But that drop was literally 2 minutes within the Grubhub delivery window, so it was very close by. After dropping off that second one, I got another good Grubhub order here. 1360, 3.5 miles from the place that I literally ordered from earlier this afternoon. Some Chinese food on Hao-Li. All I'm gonna say is what I'm about to tell you is the best hack ever for issues with food delivery. I did some walking, so heart rate's up a little bit. Gotta get those steps in. That was the best move I've done in years. So I had that Hao-Li order, and I kid you not, there was about 35 people waiting. Everything from, personal orders to food delivery. I knew it was gonna be at least 25 minutes. And you may think it's even longer for that many people, but they're pretty fast, but still like 20, 25 minutes at a minimum. So knowing that, you don't even have to second guess it. Immediately, you go online with DoorDash, with the other apps, whatever. The other apps that you have in your arsenal, right? Because I'm looking for an escape plan, okay? I get a solid order. I didn't screenshot the order request because I was trying to manage everything. Cancel the Grubhub order. You mark a reason why. I marked like, hey, it's gonna take forever basically, and you cancel it. So I got so lucky. Listen to what happened. I got an add-on order for pretty good pay, decent amount of pay for the add-on order. But it was going to the same customer. Yeah, it was another restaurant, but it was across the street. Oh, thirdly, by the way, that not only did I get an escape route, but I didn't even have to get back in my car. Like, oh, I gotta go park somewhere else, a block and a half away or whatever. Both of those spots were in walking distance. So it was in walking distance. It was on a different platform that caused me to be immediately get going with another order. They were from restaurants. Here's where market knowledge comes into play. That I knew weren't gonna have a crazy line like Hao-Li, because Hao-Li's really popular for Chinese food. The pay was good, and it was the same customer. So I'm making my delivery per usual. Remember, this is a customer that has 2 different orders going to the same place, and the one is like a drink and the other is a big bag of food from a ramen bar, like big bag of food. And I get there and it asks me for a PIN. Now the customer may be required to provide a PIN for several reasons. Maybe they've had problems getting their order in the past for whatever reason. So I get to the location and it's a handed to me delivery, obviously, because you have to make contact, physical contact with the customer. They give you the PIN and then you enter the PIN. And there's 2 PINs because there's 2 orders here. I ring the doorbell, nothing. I'm waiting. And then I text, I say, hey, I'm at the front door, nothing. And the inside, it was a house. I could see the inside. It was like a clear kind of door front, and it didn't look like there was anyone really home, okay? And I knock. I'm like, maybe the doorbell's busted, so I knock. Nothing. And I call, and that goes to voicemail. So I ring again. I knock again. Nothing at all. So the way it works is there's a timer. So if the timer gets down to 0, then you can deliver it and you just take a picture of where it's at. Remember, the customer is supposed to give you a darn pin, but if they won't even come out, right? So I'm trying to reach out to them every way possible, and I cannot reach the customer. And get this, with 40 seconds left, I get a phone call, and it's the customer, and they say, hey, is this Uber Eats? I'm like, yep, I'm out front, I need the pin. And they say the pin is this, like 1111, let's say. I enter it in, doesn't work. Remember, there's 2 orders, 2 pins. So I'm like, nope. Oh, what's this? Add-on order? Yeah, it's just not good enough. I'm like, nope, that's not it. I tried on the other order, that's not it. And then they go, try 1112. I'm like, try it? Nope. I tried on the other order, nope. I'm like, yeah, it doesn't work, but the timer on Uber Eats has 40 seconds left, so literally, it's an 8-minute timer. I'm like, well, I'll just wait 40 seconds, and then Uber Eats lets me make the delivery. And they're like, okay. And I tell them, if there's any other problems, I'll give you a call back. So the timer runs out, and the app says you can now deliver this order. And it just says, take a picture of where you leave it. So I do that. So why did I have to contact the customer every way possible? I couldn't contact them. The house didn't seem like there was anyone in there. There's some lights on, okay? But like not like, you know, living room lights and stuff like that. Why did they call me with 40 seconds to spare and then their PIN was wrong? Right? I mean, just saying. But thank you, Uber Eats. Oh, there's another add-on order? Another add-on? Why not? That is actually the second add-on. So this is a triple stacked order. Like, you know, a stacked order is 2 or more assignments for 1 driver. I say it's triple stacked because there's 3 different orders here. So the first one, yeah, right here on Uber Eats. And again, surprisingly, I'm online with Grubhub and DoorDash. So I got it. You know, it's decent, but I just want to get out of the south side. And then Uber tossed me this add-on order from Cold Stone. Yeah, parking's not great there, but you know, we'll make do. And then as you saw just now, I got another add-on order. I gotta tell you, Uber Eats is on fire tonight. It's like non-stop orders versus DoorDash. It's not getting me much on DoorDash. Wow, it happened. Wow, it happened. Unbelievable. Well, it's not unbelievable, because you might have this happen to you too. It is kind of pathetic. You know what just happened? I had someone just give me a false allegation. Order never arrived on Uber Eats. Let's talk about it. What do? Remember that order that I just did that had a lot of stuff in it? And I told you, I was like, yeah, it's like a big bag from a ramen place. And then the drink, this is the order that saved me from the Chinese spot, the Haoli spot. I told you something was weird on that delivery. That customer was being sketchy. I even asked you, is this customer being sketchy? So I'm doing this last pickup and I get a call. Like sometimes you'll get this, it's like a random number. It says potential spam, and it was Uber support. And they say, hey, it's so-and-so. Just wanted to confirm that you were making a delivery at, I don't know what they said, at such and such restaurant or blah, 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 whatever it was. And I already knew what was coming. And they're like, the customer claimed it was never delivered. And I audibly laughed. Uber, you have that call. You better get this right. And I told them, I'm like, I knew they were gonna do something shady. I knew it. I told the rep that, and the person's just like, can you verify where you delivered it? I was like, yeah, I know exactly where I delivered it. I delivered it to the exact address listed on the app, and I delivered it at the front door, and it's at blah, blah, blah street. And then she's like, can you just verify, you know, again, where you delivered it? Because I couldn't remember the exact name. So I looked it up on my Google Maps, and there was the address in my GPS. I'm like, oh, yep, it is this, and this street. And she's like, and where did you deliver it? I said, I delivered it right to the front door. And I told her the entire story too. I said, listen, that customer was unresponsive. The house was dark. I knocked, I rang the doorbell. I checked the front numbers of the house 4 times. I waited for the entire timer to run out. And then I got them on the phone with 40 seconds left in my timer. And I told them all these details, the support rep. And I said, I talked to that person and I said, I need the PIN, because the rep asked me, like, this is required to have a PIN. Did they give you a PIN? And I said, yeah, they gave me a PIN. It was 1111. That's not the real PIN, Uber, okay? Remember, we just made it up. And I said, and I tried that on both orders, because both orders needed a PIN. And then I said, hey, sorry, customer, that is not the right PIN. And then they said, oh, try 1112. And I told the rep, I tried 1112. I tried it on both orders and it didn't work. So I told the customer, you have 40 seconds and then the app will let me deliver it. I'll take a picture per instructed on the app and I'll leave it at the front door. And that is exactly what I did. I knew that customer was being shady, and that is honestly pretty pathetic that you're doing that, because I don't know what it is. You're too broke to afford food. You're just a bad person. On Christmas! On Christmas! That is pathetic. But I tell you folks, you know, having screenshots, because now the order is gone in your app, you know, but if you had a screenshot of when you got it, where you were, if you want to save pictures, all that stuff, if you want to have pictures that are attached to GPS info, that's really sad that someone would do that. I told the rep, I'm like, yep, I know exactly who that is. So this delivery right here is fine. I guess it is good that it's on the heels of Uber actually taking steps to improve false allegations against drivers, because like, I do this part-time. I do this, you know, I've been doing this for years. I do this to help you make money. If you're doing this part-time or full-time, it really doesn't matter what marketplace. I think we all know it's ridiculous and a shame that anyone would be like, oh yeah, they didn't deliver it, to literally get a free meal of like $100+ because they're bad people. You know, you're ripping off the restaurant, you're ripping off your drivers and couriers. I think DoorDash is even more strict on these, they call it a contract violation. Now, you can always, again, put in your evidence, talk to support, and it's nice to see Uber actually making steps to improve false allegations against couriers, because the last thing you want is a driver to get falsely deactivated. That person loses their income, or at least, you know, maybe part of their income. They're not going to trust these platforms, and then, you know, word's going to get out eventually, like more and more people are getting falsely deactivated, which is ridiculous. So it's good to see Uber actually noticing, like, hey, you know, these things actually happen, false allegations, and let's try to protect our drivers against it. Because I imagine what they're looking at is, okay, did the customer ever do this before? And, you know, why do they, I told you, why do they have to get the PIN in the first place? Usually when a customer has to give a PIN, like I told you, there's been problems in the past. And I'm just saying that I bet some of those problems are just completely made up. Like, oh yeah, the driver didn't give it to me. Like, you know, like part of those help tickets to support are completely fake because they're just scamming. So then Uber's like, oh, okay, well, we noticed you didn't get a delivery, so let me give you a PIN for next time. And then they do it again. And then they probably look at the driver's account, like how many deliveries does the driver have? How long they've been doing this? Has any other customer ever flagged them for doing this as well? Like if you're a driver and if you have 4 or 5 flags that the order's never arrived, you know, maybe you're doing something sketchy. That's just a shame. And I knew, like I had a feeling, I told you that they're gonna be scammy. But let me finish this delivery and let me put the numbers on the screen right now so we can see how we did. I mean, numbers wise, I feel like this was a really good shift. Let me know down below in the comments. I haven't done the numbers yet. Obviously, I'm still driving right now, but I feel like it was a pretty good shift.